following podcast contains descriptions of graphic violence and some strong language. So basically, watch out. Good morning, or afternoon, or whatever. Hi, my name's Mason. This is a great start. My name's Mason.
Oh, I'm Lauren. Hi.
And I'm Max.
And this is Let Me Explain. So this is a podcast, in case you hadn't gathered. This is a podcast where the three of us, we all have very specific knowledge about very specific things. Lauren has a lot of knowledge about criminology and like TV and like true crime. Mm-hmm. Max has a lot of knowledge about comic books and very specifically the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of knowledge about history, especially like presidents and music, especially like rock and like psychedelic rock. So basically, each of us we're gonna go around in a triangle, and one of us is gonna ask another one of us to explain something within that broad subject. And if we know what we're talking about, then we just explain it. If we don't, we gotta bullshit as much as possible. And then the other two have to guess whether we're speaking some real shit or some bullshit. And whoever wins gets nothing, because we're poor.
We're broke college kids.
So, who wants to start? Or who has something for another one of us?
I want to look up something obscure, so just go.
Well, I...
Oh. I just thought of it. Okay. Oh, okay.
You just thought of one?
Yeah.
You said?
So, a new line of Spidey comics called Spidey.
What?
No, we're giving you Spider-Man stuff to explain.
Oh.
And you give us music or history or criminology. So, explain this.
Like, for example, what I was going to give you, I was going to say, explain Danny Elfman.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That actually works. Okay,
good start.
No, I get it.
Explain Danny Elfman, Max.
Danny Elfman, he was the composer for the Spider-Man trilogy directed by Sam Raimi. Not only that, but he was one of the lead singers in Oinga Boinga.
Yep.
Wrote really weird songs. He also has worked with, was it not Quentin Tarantino?
I don't know.
Tim Burton?
No. Yeah, Tim Burton. And
I shouldn't have helped him.
No. I can't. Whoever was the director.
Specifically?
What movie? The director
of movies.
The Grand Budapest Hotel.
Oh, Wes Anderson.
Oh.
Yeah,
He didn't do the score for that though.
He didn't?
No.
I'm thinking
that
a different
was
movie. Hold on.
Oh, what's his name? Oh, Alexandre Desplat.
Yeah. I was thinking a different movie then. But he composed. More importantly, he wrote a song called "Little Girls," and it was supposed to be the most offensive song he has ever written. And the music video in the song was actually so offensive that it was banned in Canada.
Amazing.
Wow.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, so let's say it at the same time. 1, 2, 3.
Real
bullshit.
shit.
He was in Oingo Boingo, not Oinga Boinga.
Okay,
Thank
but we
you.
knew.
No,
No,
it's real shit.
It's
real shit.
Yep.
Little girl. I hate that song, but it's also catchy. But also, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But Mad Science is a bop. Yeah. I love that song.
Okay. So that was a good start.
And Danny Elfman actually, I know he sang on a lot of Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he did the whole score basically.
He pretty much works with like Tim Burton all the time.
He's a great singer, and he made the really iconic Batman theme.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So.
he did. Yeah.
He's done a lot of different. He did the Simpsons theme.
Yeah, he did.
Oh my God, he did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wild. What a varied career.
What?
Okay.
Yeah. What a guy.
So, Max, do you have one for either of us?
Mason, can you explain the most obscure thing the president of 1863 has done.
Well, that's Abraham Lincoln. Most obscure thing Abraham Lincoln did. Oh, he held seances in the White House. Yeah, because their son died. Their youngest son, when he was 10, died in the White House on like the day of this Christmas party.
Really?
And so he and his wife held seances so they could talk to him. Willie, that was his name, Willie Lincoln. And so his wife continued to hold seances after Lincoln died so that she could communicate with him.
What?
I'm not making this shit up. Mary-Todd Lincoln held seances.
Whatever.
Mary-Todd Lincoln held seances. They held seances in the White House.
We need a button that says that. Mary-Todd Lincoln held seances. Prove me wrong.
Change my mind.
Change my mind.
God, fuck Stephen Crowder. Okay, I think that's probably the most obscure thing I can think of.
Wow.
What are your... Okay.
3, 2, 1. That's
Bullshit.
bullshit.
It's not bullshit.
No!
Mary-Todd, they held seances in the White House.
Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus.
Mary-Todd Lincoln had seances constantly after Abraham Lincoln died so that she could talk to him. I'm not making that up.
Wow.
That
That's
actually
so...
Wow.
actually happened.
I love the name Willie Lincoln. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Robert Lincoln though.
Willie.
Fun little extra tidbit.
Bob
I'm gonna
Lincoln.
put on these frames so I can look more professional, except not more like Buddy Holly.
True.
Robert Lincoln was actually he almost fell onto these train tracks right as a train was coming, but this actor pulled his collar back and saved his life. You know, pulled him off the tracks. And that actor was Edwin Booth.
Wow.
And Edwin Booth's brother was John Wilkes Booth.
Jesus.
And John Wilkes Booth assassinated Robert Lincoln's father.
Yeah.
So one Booth saved a Lincoln and the other killed a Lincoln. Also,
Cancels out.
Robert Lincoln, he was not there for his father's death because he was in college at the time. He was there at the train station where James Garfield was shot and at the Grand American Exposition in Buffalo, New York, when William McKinley was shot.
Are you
So
serious?
he wasn't there when his
Jesus.
father died, but he was there when 2 other presidents got assassinated.
Wow.
The world works.
So he's unlucky.
Seriously.
He's really unlucky, I guess.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay. So, Lauren. Can you explain the Black Dahlia murder?
Yes, I can.
Oh, I was thinking of that.
All right, so, God, I don't remember what year, but it was way back when, before a lot of forensic technology was like really big and discovered and stuff. And so the Black Dahlia was this woman who moved out to California to become an actress. Didn't really know anybody out there. She just up and left because she was beautiful and, you know, thought she could get somewhere. And they found her. Don't really know like specific city or street, but they found her on the street. She was they cut a smile into her face, cut her body all up in weird ways, but it was with like this surgical precision. But basically, since no one saw or heard anything and no one even knew her, it went unsolved. Like they had some evidence and stuff, like they knew this guy had surgical precision and like doctors, but they didn't have like names or faces or like even a general description. And I think they had actually fingerprints and stuff that probably were found on her, but of course they didn't have like the technology or the databases that we do now, like APHIS and all that stuff. So it's remained unsolved. There's actually this museum, I don't know where it is, but they do have the crime scene photos of the Black Dahlia, like her cut open body and everything. But they called her the Black Dahlia because her hair was like super jet black and pretty and like, you know, flowers. So that's basically gone unsolved to this day. But she made a cameo appearance in the first season of American Horror Story, which was interesting. But yeah,
All right.
that's the basics of the Black Dahlia.
1, 2, 3.
Real
Mostly
shit.
real shit.
Yeah, that's real shit.
Yeah. Okay. Because there's a movie called Blue Dahlia.
Really?
And so Black Dahlia was taken, it was like from that.
From that.
I knew that little tidbit, so I just wasn't sure. But everything else I was pretty confident was real.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I know there's a novel, and I have it up in my room, called Black Dahlia by James Elroy, because he was obsessed with the case. So he decided
it's really interesting.
It is fascinating how just this woman got murdered, and there was like nothing. There was no trace.
But I mean, I think that probably did happen a lot back then, but people were more careful about like hiding it. But this one was just like so straight up and open, because I think honestly the killer probably like knew. They were like, well, the police don't have really anything to be able to. That's
what's so crazy about it, is that it happened in like the body was in broad daylight. Like, it's strange. Okay.
Yep.
So I figure I give something to Max now, just so we go.
Sure. Yeah. Instead of going back.
That's what we'll do. I'll give something to Max. You give something to me. Max gives something to you.
Sure.
So we'll go in like weird.
In the same order, but the other person.
So Max. So what is it like comics? Okay. Explain Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Crisis on Infinite Earths.
As well as you can, because obviously it's a bit complicated.
It is incredibly complicated, actually, so that I've actually... Okay. Here we go. So
I knew that one was going to be a whammy.
Crisis on Infinite Earths, DC storyline. So, essentially, what happens is that it's discovered there's a multiverse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the Speed Force, I think. And so...
Send him to the comic.
Barry Allen has a huge part of it, but he's dead, right? And so, the Flash at the time is actually, what's his name? It's at the top of my head. He's a redhead. Wally West, that's his name. Wally West.
Got it.
So Wally West is the Flash at this time. And so, essentially what happens is that, two Earths happen to crash, not like physically crash into each other, but it's like two multiverses existing on the same plane. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. And so, essentially what happens, all the superheroes are like, wait, this isn't right. Because, Barry Allen's back, but he's dead. And then Wally West is like, oh, he's alive, so there's two things going on in the Speed Force. That's not right. And so it just kind of revolves around the heroes kind of solving the issue on how to stop them from merging completely and destroying the rest of the multiverse.
1, 2, 3, bullshit.
You know what? You're completely right, because I have no idea what Crisis on Infinite Earths is, because it's so complicated and there's so much to it.
Because it's I know the basics is they got to the point in DC where there were 500 different different Earths.
Yeah.
And they wanted to just consolidate it.
Yeah.
And so they decided we're just going to destroy all but one of them.
Basically, it was like a Big Bang.
Yeah. And so they reduced it down because the New 52 is
It was another reboot of it. And then that failed.
Right.
And then they came up with a recent line. I forgot what it's called.
Yeah.
But that failed too.
Whoops.
So they're kind of struggling now because of that.
Yeah. Because I knew you could put some good details in there though. And I know, have you seen the movie with Owlman and all that? There's
Watchmen? No.
No. It was a
yeah. I saw that. It was
that's a solid movie.
Yeah, it was very well there's an opposite Earth, so that's.
And also, I love the idea of Joker and Lex Luthor being good guys. It's just strange.
Yeah. That was actually a comic. It was. I forgot what it's called. There was the Injustice League.
Yeah.
So that's essentially what that was. And there was also Justice League on that world, in which that kind of little delved into a little bit in the movie. And it was really cool because you saw all your favorite villains being good guys, a good guy version of them, and all your favorite superheroes, you saw a bad guy version in them.
That's really cool.
And what would be really interesting is if they did some sort of like Batman Robin storyline, but for the Injustice League.
Oh,
and I think that'd be really cool.
Get George Clooney and
Yeah.
oh, what's his name? The kid who played
Dick Grayson.
in
Yeah.
Batman and Robin. What's his name? Oh my God.
Him.
Chris.
Oh, Chris. It's Chris something. Hold on.
Yeah.
Siri.
Hi everyone. This is Mason from the future, editing this podcast. First of all, the actor's name was Chris O'Donnell. That was the man's name. We did eventually figure that out. But also, we then went on a whole long tangent, or more specifically, I went on a whole long tangent about how I hate Batman Returns, and how Batman Forever is a more enjoyable movie. And that's not, no one wants to hear that, except for maybe me, because I like hearing myself talk. So, there was no good way. It was a complete non sequitur no matter what I did. So we're just going to jump right to the point where I talk about the circus scene in Batman Forever. Enjoy! My favorite moment with him in the whole movie is when it's at the circus and Two-Face is like threatening everyone, and through all the sound, like, you know, he says, if Batman doesn't reveal himself here, I'll kill everyone. And he does not hesitate. He shouts, I'm Batman, but he just doesn't hear him. But so like that's one of the best moments, I think, in any Batman movie, where it's like he doesn't hesitate to reveal his identity.
I have a new category. I know so much about Starkid musicals.
I was gonna ask you actually.
You just mentioned Two-Face, and I thought of Holding Musical Batman. Two-Face is the
Gotcha.
best.
Okay, so what do you have for me?
Mason, can you explain Paul Revere for me?
Yeah. Okay, so what happened was, I forget the name of I think it's Beckett is the name of the poet. And he said, I need to write this poem about this really cool ride in the Revolution. I don't have a good rhyme for it, though, with here. I'll just take this random fool's name, named Paul Revere, and put it in this poem and make up some bullshit about how he did this whole cool ride instead of getting arrested after, like, 2 towns in. Which is what actually happened, is that Paul Revere... Paul Revere never once shouted, "The British are coming," because, like, half the people in America were British. And they would be like, huh?
Where, from, like, down the street?
No, he literally did not, Paul Revere did not shout, "The British are coming." That is an embellishment on the part of the poem and on the part of history.
Children's history.
And so basically, he and a couple other guys it wasn't him by himself either, it was him and a couple other guys were going to warn that the British army was approaching. And he got drunk and got arrested like 2 towns in, and the rest of the guys kept going. So Paul Revere is a valor-stealing well, he didn't actually do it. He didn't steal his own steal valor from anyone. The guy who wrote the poem did, because you'll hear the tale of the midnight ride of Paul Revere, that whole everything. Also, all the beer Sam Adams.
Yeah.
The guy on the front is Paul Revere.
Really?
Not Sam Adams. They put a picture of Paul Revere on Sam Adams for some reason. Also, Paul Revere looks weirdly like Jack Black, and I don't know why.
That's actually so funny.
I can agree with that.
Yeah. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Real
Bullshit.
It's real.
What the?
Yep.
It's real. He did not shout. He didn't do any of that.
My
No, he's a
second grade
fraud.
paper on Paul Revere is like very inaccurate.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
I feel like
7.
I feel like all of elementary school, you're just lied to.
Oh, fucking Christopher Columbus?
Yeah. No,
He never set
My
foot in
third grade
Jesus
teacher
Christ.
actually taught us about the real Christopher Columbus, and
Nice.
I very much appreciate
That's good.
it. Because then for the rest of elementary school, everyone would be like, yay, like Christopher Columbus. And I'd be like, do you not remember?
How he sold 9-year-olds into sex slavery?
Yeah.
Or
like,
how he brought syphilis to Europe.
Whoops.
Oops. And the only way to get that was from a llama. Or an alpaca? I can't.
Probably alpaca.
it was an animal.
It was either one of the two. And then
Christopher Columbus is
What
a
a-
little gross freak.
a little
Yeah.
freak. Yep. Okay.
All right. So, Max, do you have something for Lauren to explain?
Explain. Oh my god. Okay.
You could be
Explain a
nervous.
Harry Potter musical.
Just the first one?
Yeah.
All right, so we open Harry Potter, played by Darren Criss, sitting on.
Oh my god, guys. Guys, it's Mason from the future again. So, what happened was, Lauren, when we said explain Harry Potter musical, Lauren took that as summarize the entirety of Harry Potter musical. And that took a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put her summary of a Harry Potter musical at the end of this episode. So if you want her very in-depth and very, very passionate summary of a Harry Potter musical, go right to the end of the video and just listen away. But if you don't, just keep listening. But you know, it is a pretty fun summary. She loves Harry Potter musicals, so give her some equal time. But I'll skip to the last minute and a half.
Stuff happens. They attack Hermione a little bit and bully her because she's a little know-it-all, and then they continue. Harry's writing a song for they also, in this one, they kind of mix in the fourth book with, like, the whole champion goblet and stuff. But but it's, like, within Hogwarts, like, no one from other schools comes. It's weird, but it's cool. Harry's writing a song for Cho Chang, but everything in it rhymes with Jenny, and he sings it to Ginny, and he's like, I'll just put your name in, it's fine. And then in the end, he's like, it doesn't work. It's fine, but, like, for Cho, it'll be great. Jenny sings a song about Harry and dances with his guitar.
I love that Harry has a guitar.
Quirrell and Voldemort have a duet, and they're totally in love, sorry.
Who, Voldemort and Quirrell?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, amazing.
I think this is the one where Voldemort has his number to dance again because he wants to dance again. He was a dancy boy. There's the sorting hat, but there's also the scarf of sexuality, which we love. Except he was on vacation this movie. Not movie, musical. Stuff happens. Death Eaters and stuff break in. The day is saved. Dumbledore has a Zac Efron poster. Yes, Efron. A lot happens, and then in the very end, the day's saved, everything's good. Harry gave up at one point, but then Ginny's like, you're not alone, and then everyone comes in and they say, baby, you're not alone, and sing that whole song, and then it's over until the sequel.
Alright. 1, 2, 3. Real shit.
Yeah, sorry. Go watch it, it's good.
As much detail that went into that.
Yeah, it had to be.
Oh, for sure.
In the passion, you could just tell.
Yep. Okay, so what now? Are we good, I think? Is that just the end, or do we...
If anybody is listening to this, maybe they can send in some topics.
Send in some
that'd be
suggestions. And we get,
Yeah,
that'd be
cool.
fun.
It'd be a good time.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for listening to the first episode of Let Me Explain with Mason Hoyt, Lauren Moreland, and Max Bounyadeth. So thank you for listening, and we'll see you maybe next time. If there is a next time, we'll find out. You could be
Explain a
nervous.
Harry Potter musical.
Just the first one?
Yeah.
Alright, so we open Harry Potter, played by Darren Criss, sitting on his little suitcase.
Real shit. I'm calling it now. This whole thing's gonna be real shit.
Okay.
Keep going though.
He's sitting on his little suitcase, and he starts singing really angsty, and he's like, I want to go back to school. All my friends are at school. I'm so mistreated at school. I'm a cool guy. And then, the music continues. It's like one of the best opening numbers ever. Back to Hogwarts is a bop. And he starts singing, and then eventually Ron, played by Joey Richter, comes in, and he's like, did somebody say Ron Weasley? And they're like, bros, and it's so cute. And then they're like, all right, we gotta go get your stuff from Diagon Alley. And then they do the flu powder power thing while they flap their arms and run around stage. And then they eventually meet up with Hermione with one of my, oh my god, the dynamic between Ron and Hermione in this musical is like the funniest thing, and just everybody and Hermione is so good.
Eventually they all get to school, except before that they have an encounter with Draco, played by Lauren Lopez, in Queen in Diagon Alley and stuff, and Draco's like, y'all suck, I'm cool, but it's fine because I'm gonna be transferred to Pigfart soon, which is on Mars, or is it on the moon? Either way, the headmaster is a lion named Rumble Roar. He's pretty dope. Ginny Weasley also has Ginny Weasley, played by Jamie Lynn B.A.T., has an encounter.
Sorry, Rumble Roar. That got me.
With Cho Chang. And so Cho Chang and her whole line of Ravenclaw friends come in and they sing this kind of stereotypical Cho Chang's Asian tune where it's like Cho Chang, arigato. And so
Yikes.
Ginny is so Harry's got this big fat crush on Cho Chang. And Ginny comes up and she's all like,
so what year is this supposed to...
It kind of mixes them, but it's not his first year.
Yeah.
But so Ginny's like, Konnichiwa, Cho Chang, I am Ginny Weasley. And she goes, bitch, I ain't Cho Chang. And then this southern belle girl steps on, she's like, I'm Cho Chang, y'all. And it's so funny. Eventually they get to Hogwarts and Dumbledore's talking and they're all and sitting in their houses and he's like, basically I sort the good guys into Gryffindor and the bad guys into Slytherin, and Ravenclaw and Hufflepuff exist. And Cedric stands up and he's like, Hufflepuffs are particularly good finders, to which Dumbledore replies, what the hell is a Hufflepuff? And Cedric just kind of stands there for a minute and then sits back down. Snape makes his grand entrance and he's
question.
like, yes.
Sorry, question. How long is this plot summary going to be?
I'll go faster.
She's going in detail.
Sorry.
You're good.
Eventually, Quirrell comes in, but he's attached. There's this clearly another person attached to him on the backside with his whole turban hanging over, and Draco Malfoy goes, "Go home, terrorist!" And everyone's like, Draco. But then Voldemort, attached to the back of Quirrell, starts sneezing, and Quirrell has to cover it up. But basically, all that stuff happens. They attack Hermione a little bit and bully her because she's a little know-it-all, and then they continue. Harry's writing a song for Cho. Oh, they also, in this one, they kind of mix in the fourth book with the whole champion goblet stuff. But so, but it's within Hogwarts, no one from other schools comes. It's weird, but it's cool. Harry's writing a song for Cho Chang, but everything in it rhymes with Ginny, and he sings it to Ginny, and he's like, I'll just put your name in, it's fine. And then in the end, he's like, it doesn't work. It's fine, but for Cho, it'll be great. Ginny sings a song about Harry and dances with his guitar.
I love that Harry has a guitar.
Quirrell and Voldemort have a duet, and they're totally in love, sorry.
Voldemort and Quirrell?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, amazing.
I think this is the one where Voldemort has his number to dance again because he wants to dance again. He was a dancey boy. There's the sorting hat, but there's also the scarf of sexuality, which we love. Except he was on vacation this movie. Not movie, musical. Stuff happens. Death Eaters and stuff break in. The day is saved. Dumbledore has a Zac Efron poster. Yes, Efron. A lot happens, and then in the very end, the day's saved, everything's good. Harry gave up at one point, but then Ginny's like, you're not alone, and then everyone comes in and they say, maybe you're not alone, and sing that whole song, and then it's over until the sequel.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Real shit.
Yeah, sorry.